Welcome and welcome back to Table Rant. This is going to be your Wednesday's headlines. I hope everything's great for you, if you're not unlucky. I've only done 3 newspapers due to the simple fact that it's all the same spew. So I'll go into the Metro first. It says Britain needs you to queue. So Starmer reveals longer-rated defence spending plan, including new nuke warhead. Fair enough, we get the new nuke warhead, but what's the difference with all the other nuke warheads we've got now? Do you know what I mean? You're just going to change a bit of technology on it. The technology probably what we've already got anyway. And the reason I'm being like this is because we're being played, right? I may have only done 3 newspapers, but what I've done after, I'm going to tell you how much money we've been spending in NATO. Not just for 1 year, as they try and put it, for the past 3 years. And what the French have been paying as well. You're naughty, France. It's about time Britain starts coming down on you and starts saying you need to start paying more money in France on NATO. Trust me, it's sickening. So that's Britain, and it says there, but Metro. Sorry, that's busting road projects will have to be sacrificed to free up cash for UK's war readiness. It's nonsense. Okay, Germany's spending alone 115 billion. We're spending 90 billion. And then the French are spending out, I think, a measly 65 or 70 billion, yeah? And then it goes down to Poland, Canada, 40-something billion, then Poland, 40 billion. There's some of these other Eastern European countries, mate, they're proper pulling the wool over everybody's eyes. And they're the main countries, at first, that's got a good chance of being hit by Russia. But is it going to happen at the moment with Russia's defence getting weaker? I don't think so. We're being played. We can spend money on the roads, but they just don't want to. Once again, they're sulking because we're not part of the European Union. Trust me. Trust me. It's a joke, mate. But like I said, I'll go through the spending cuts. They're saying 80 billion defence scheme announced in Metro, but it's not. It's going to be over something 90 point something billion, okay? And we'll go into the Daily Telegraph, and it says here, UK families hit by biggest global drop in wealth. Well, yeah, because you keep handing out to undocumented strangers in hotels, and you're being stupid on the NATO. We're spending too much money on that. We're wasting too much money on NATO. The problem of the newspapers and the lefties and the righties in Parliament, they try and make out it's each year. It's just a year, and it's like, well, where's all the money from last year? Where's all the money from that year? Where's all that money from that year? We spend more money than China, not just us, but the whole of NATO spends more money than China, Iran, and Russia put together. It's like nearly over $1 trillion a year more than they're spending on military. It's a joke. Trust me, we're being played. This is one of the biggest excuses. And it says here on the Daily Mirror, same gold Farage. So, Reform UK chief pockets 270,000 for 12 hours as a bullion ambassador. He rakes in 22k an hour on top of his MP pay. That's inflation, 5 million gift. Yeah, but it was given as a gift, I want it, do you know what I mean? So if they've turned, like anybody, if someone turns around and says, oh, I'm going to give you £500,000 because I like you, I think you've done something really nice to somebody or someone, or you've pointed out a point, then if it's a gift, there's nothing they can do about it, is there? It's classed as a gift, do you know what I mean, at the end of the day. So we'll come out of here, because that was a mirror. Like I said, it's the same spew stuff. I can't be bothered to stand here and talk about the same spew, do you know what I mean? Because everybody's been seeing it, everyone's been watching it, do you know what I mean? So if we come out of here and we go into... I won't be able to get it up on the internet for you. I don't know how to do all that sort of stuff yet. But it says here, right... This is 23. NATO spent, okay, let it sink in. NATO spent in 2023 altogether, that's including America, 1.341 trillion. 2023. 2024, 1.56 trillion. 2025, 1.581 trillion. 26 projected 1.650 trillion. All trillions, okay? United States, fair enough, they've spent 950 billion, 23, 24, 944 billion, 2025, 945 billion, and they're looking to project a trillion this year, 26, so they say, but who knows at the moment with what's going on. Right, so United Kingdom, okay, let it sink in, they spent 75 billion, 23, well, we spent 75 billion, sorry. 24, 81.8 billion. 2025, 89 billion. And we're projected to spend 91.5 billion. Right. This is China. Okay. 296 billion, 2023. 314 billion. 336 billion. 350 billion. So that's 23, 24, 26, sorry. Russia, 109 billion, 23, 149 billion, 24, 25, 190 billion, and 200 billion projected 26. Well, they've got no choice, have they? They're getting weaker and weaker. I could have mentioned Iran, but it's not. Iran's money sort of like Romania's money, one of the lower countries, like 10.3 billion, 23, 24, 7.9 billion, 25, 7.4 billion, sorry, and 26 projected 7.5 billion. I don't know on what. I don't know. Are they allowed to even project to spend military this because of what's America and Israel's done to them? So I find that a bit odd all of a sudden. So these things don't add up. America went over there deliberately with Israel to smash up Iran, yeah? But apparently Iran's still got a military spending budget. How was that so? Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't add up on a real scale. It's a joke, right? It really is a joke. So we've spent huge amounts of money. We're talking NATO's spent over trillions in the last 3 years. And we've got people saying to us that we haven't been spending in our defence. We haven't been spending on this. We haven't been spending on that, okay? It's a joke. It really is a joke. It's insane. So people say, oh, it's not for equipment or anything. Yes, it is. It even says it here. It says it here. It says each of the 32 member countries uses this money to pay for its own soldiers, military equipment, pensions and research. There you go. Where's the money going to? Where's it going? Yeah. For Keir Starmer to turn around and say, we have got no money for roads, it's total lies. I'm going to drop a bombshell now on the French, mate, because the French are slimy as you like, mate, I'll tell you. Look at this. 2023, actual UK spent 75.3 billion compared to France's 59.5 billion. 2024, we paid 81.8 billion, while France paid 64.7 billion. 2025, UK paid 89 billion, driven a strategic defence review investment, while France climbed just to 68 billion. Projection this year, once again, us 91.5 billion, and the French 70.5 billion. So the French are ripping us off, mate. The French are ripping us. Germany, I think Germany's the second highest paying into it. Some of these Eastern European countries like Romania, Estonia, Lithuania, they need to start paying more than just a couple of billion, mate. I'm telling you, it's like we're paying for them as well. It's like, how does this work out? So we're being ripped off. If the French are allowed to pay that sort of money, we can subsidise 10 billion out of that each year easily and go, well, the French are only paying that, President Trump, say, or President Biden. Why do we have to pay more? This is what I mean. The amount of money, what we pay into NATO compared to what China, I don't know why I bring China into it, but the reason I bring China into it is because America doesn't like China and China doesn't like America, so you have to see it that way. However, with Russia, it's ridiculous money. I'll put it together, right? NATO each year practically spends over 550 or 560 billion more, or even a trillion, I think it is, more, or under a trillion more, from what Russia and China and Iran's gone now, so it's even less, isn't it? So basically, probably a trillion more than what Russia and China together do each year. So why is there such a huge threat? Why is there such a massive threat now? They reckon it will take until 2030 now for even Russia to start building a decent army again. And if we're building a new nuclear warhead, what does that tell you? Do you know what I mean? I don't mean to scare anybody. Like I said, I'm a centralist. I'm real. I'll keep it as real as I can. The lefties will pull the wool over your eyes, yeah, and just try and make out, because that money now is going to go on more benefits, okay? The rights will pull the wool over your eyes and just say, look, they don't know what they're doing with spending money. Do you know what I mean? Central, when you go into looking how much we've spent over the past 3 years on NATO, in our military and all that, it's all lies. Everything's lies, like I've said. There's nothing wrong with it, yeah? Russia's defence is even weaker than it is now. They reckon by 2030 it will take them to get a strong defence up or a strong military again. But the way things are going now, Ukraine are actually now breaking into Russia with drones. So, you know, if they're breaking into Russia with just drones, how weak is Russia getting? Do you know what I mean? It's going to come to a point probably where President Putin's going to have to step down and give in, because Russian people are probably going to get tired of him eventually, or the rest of the oligarchs are probably going to get tired of him. Do you know what I mean? You know, it's gone on too long. They pulled the wool over President Putin's eyes. They did it deliberately. They deliberately let his military go into Russia so they could weaken his military. Trust me. Do you know what I mean? But you believe in what you want to believe in, yeah? But I do not believe that our country is in any serious threat at all. I do not believe our defence is weak at all. All you got to do is go back from 23 to 26 and just look at the amount of numbers we've been spending. And we could turn around and go, no, we're going to take 10 billion out of that because France is only paying this amount of money. Yeah, I'm sorry, France, but you need to be told. You keep on loading undocumented strangers into our country, I will tell you. I will say it how it is. Yes, I will. Let me tell you. Anyway, we're Table Rant. The BBC, you are not. Stay safe, stay great, stay beautiful. And like always, rant on.